Okay, I'm gonna try something new and do a voice recording, a narration of what you're about to see. I decided to keep in, clearly, I'm emptying the sand out of my boots. I decided to keep in a lot of stuff I would normally cut out, mostly because I think I really like how I look in all the different pants I'm wearing. But anyways, the repair is this fence. It was really rotten. Our house, it's from the front of our house, so it looked really rough. So I decided we took it down. Yeah, you can see how rotten the wood is. Sometimes my work is very mental. So I really love being able to do physical labor. It's really cool to be able to see something messed up and then fix it. It's the most satisfying thing in the world. Just kick that out of the way. Yeah. Again, kept that shot because I feel like I look really good in those pants. Okay, time to dig. So what you're seeing here, I had to dig a hole because the pole needed something to sit in. There was also all the rotten, or all the, keep using the word rotten, but all the rotten wood of the pole was still in the hole, so I had to remove that, and then I'm going to cut the bottom of the pole off. My mom was scrubbing clean the old piece, and now we are using Kills all-purpose interior anti-mold paint. The idea is to reuse the wood as much as we can. Okay, so next step is I had to put that painted pole back into the ground and then measure the width between the two poles so that I can put in new horizontal wooden pieces that the fence posts will attach to. I dug really deep. Decided to take a quick banana break, cutting them down with a pretty dull machete, and also thinking my left arm is way stronger than it really is, that I could hold up that bunch of bananas on their own. But still got the job done. I was super proud of this pulley situation. So I kept almost all the footage of me pulling up these bananas. I keep talking to myself. This is for the grandkids. I'm going to make them watch this. Beautiful. So proud of that. Okay, back to the workshop. This is my father's workshop. I know how to use like 3 tools in here. There's a lot of scrap wood. We refuse to buy wood. So it means we have to be really creative with the wood we have. We're just really trying not to waste wood. It's an important resource. So we try to be creative, especially with projects like this. We try to be creative with using the pieces we already have. Okay, looking back on this footage, I wish I had used like a piece of wood. Instead of putting my hand there, I wish I had used a piece of wood to hold that end of that wood there. It looks like my finger's really close to the blade. It's not, but still, watching it, in the future, I'm going to use a piece of wood. Okay, this is so cool. This is a system of organization that I'm pretty sure it was my grandfather, but it could have been my dad. They used all these Miracle Whip jars, and they had different kinds of screws and nails, and you can tell what each screw and nail is there on the top of the lid. It's so cool. You know when you work on a project and in your mind, it should take like, I don't know, a few hours, and then it just ends up taking multiple days. Well, that was this project. Just things weren't really working for me. Things that, I don't know, maybe it was the wood was getting soggy. I'm not sure, but I was having a hard time with the drill. So I decided to try the power drill, which I've used in the past, but it's been a while. So I forgot how to change the drill bit. And that ended up taking just so much time trying to remember how to change the drill bit, then trying to search it up on YouTube, and then giving up and going back to the hand drill. I'm sure, I'm sure you all have been there. Projects should take a little bit of time, ends up taking way longer. This is when you know, like, I don't know, you're just mentally tired when you're sawing on the ground with a dull saw. Okay, for some reason, this part of the project stumped me. I had to use these little pieces of wood to connect the horizontal pieces because I would use those little pieces to also connect to the existing fence, if that makes sense. So it was kind of like a puzzle. It was pretty fun. Well, in retrospect, it seems fun. I think at the time I was pretty frustrated. It's really nice working in my dad's workshop. It makes me feel connected to him. It also definitely makes me wish I knew more. I wish I had spent a lot more time learning from my dad. He was a really good carpenter. My grandfather was a finishing carpenter. My dad grew up helping him, so he was very competent. He wasn't a carpenter as a job, but he could make anything. So this project would have been really quite easy for him. But I kind of had to just figure it out on my own. So I definitely wish I'd had a guiding hand. So yeah, that's my piece of wisdom. If you have someone in your life that can teach you something you don't know, definitely take that opportunity to learn. I think this is cement mixture that I'm holding in my hand, and I think I'm discussing if it's worth cementing the pole in. In the end, we decided it wasn't worth it. I'm not sure why, but that was the decision we made. This was definitely the most satisfying part of the whole project, was placing all that work into the hole and seeing it fit. There was a little bit of adjusting I had to do, but yeah, really pleased with how this turned out. Okay, so that was that little piece of wood I spent so much time attaching to the horizontal piece. So that is why I attached it, because it would allow me to connect to the big pole. Always good to use big muscle groups to adjust the fence. I think I had to push it up with my butt a little bit. Yeah, so just makes you feel so proud to do a project like this where you can see the final outcome and to do physical labor. Highly recommend it. I remember someone told me that about being able to tie knots, that the ability to tie knots just makes you feel like a really smart person. And I feel that way with repairing things. Even if it's really frustrating during the process, it's definitely worth it. The amount of satisfaction you get at the end it's like a runner's high. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if this is the kind of stuff people like to watch.